The new version of Damage CTRL is already off to a bit of a bumpy start, so we'll see what's going on with them. We'll also check out what's new with Nikki Bella, Olivia Rodrigo, and more. For the first time since the group's debut in WWE, Damage CTRL made some pretty massive additions to their group, with Asuka and Kairi Sane. We discussed how it was a pretty huge deal to bring in these two new members into the group, and how they really push Damage CTRL over the edge now. Well, that honeymoon was really short-lived, because just days later, we were discussing Kairi Sane liking a tweet from a fan about how they felt the group was secretly plotting behind Bayley's back, and how they were going to overthrow her when the time was right. Well, this suspicion and theory was basically confirmed by Damage CTRL during the November 17th edition of SmackDown. Bayley opened up SmackDown in a way that everyone expected her to. She was bragging about this new version of her faction, the big new additions, and how they're already the greatest faction in all of WWE, which is a clear shot to all the other current existing factions like the Judgment Day, the Bloodline, and so on. And while Bayley is speaking and bragging about the new version of Damage CTRL, Kairi, Io, and Asuka all huddle up and whisper something to each other while laughing and giggling. It appears to be some sort of inside joke there between the three of them, and they left Bayley out of the conversation, making Bayley look like a complete lost outsider within her own faction. Bayley plays it off as if she understands what the three of them are saying and gets the joke. But it's Dakota Kai who had to explain everything to Bayley. Dakota Kai says that they're not the new version of Damage CTRL quite yet because someone isn't a member of the new group. There was a very tense couple of seconds there where Bayley and the audience thought that Dakota was referencing the idea of kicking Bayley out, but then Dakota said that she was talking about Asuka. So then the group brought Asuka in officially. So even within the first segment of the new Damage CTRL being together, they're already setting the foundation with lots of teases about Bayley being left out or even kicked out of the group. Here Bayley is trying to give this speech about the new version of Damage CTRL, and you got Kairi, Io, and Asuka all laughing and giggling amongst themselves. That definitely shows some sort of disconnection there between Bayley and her members. And for them to do that to her, it does make us have to ask if the group, especially the new members, even respects Bayley as their leader. Is this some sort of disconnection and disrespect forming there that'll only get much larger in the coming weeks? And it's not like if Dakota Kai is even on Bayley's side, because even Dakota understood the inside joke Io, Asuka, and Kairi were sharing. So it's as if Bayley truly is the only outsider here within her own group. So the fact that they're already heavily teasing the group turning on Bayley this early into their run together is definitely eye-opening. The fact that these teases are coming already really makes you wonder if the 2.0 version of Damage CTRL will be short-lived, and if the group will just toss Bayley away in the coming weeks. Breakup tension and Damage CTRL is literally not new at all to them. Earlier this year, right around the time of Dakota's injury, it seemed like Damage CTRL was seconds away from absolutely imploding, and even after Dakota's injury, tension between Bayley and Io were still there. Tension settled down within the group following Io's successful cash-in, but like we've seen in Io's last few title defenses, there's been lots of disconnections and miscommunications there. Io has requested for Bayley to stay in the back during her title defenses, but she never listens and always comes out to ringside. So knowing how Bayley is, that led to Io quietly going behind Bayley's back to bring Kairi Sane back to WWE and work out that play without Bayley knowing. So even though the new version of Damage CTRL appears to be dominant and united at first glance, if you take a deep look at the group, you can easily see that there's lots of grimy and sneaky things happening there between the members. They're not being fully honest with each other, they're hiding things from each other, and it appears that they could easily be gearing up to truly kick Bayley out of her own creation. So if that's the direction that they go in, it'll be interesting to see how WWE will handle it. Because if the group all turns on Bayley, does that make Bayley the sympathetic babyface? Or will they find a way to keep Bayley as a heel, even if the entire group turns on her? So those big questions may be answered and addressed here in the future, but as of the immediate future for Damage Control, it appears that they'll be on the same page for at least the Survivor Series War Games match, as it'll be Damage Control taking on Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, and Shotzi. And it looks like a big theme of this War Games match for both teams is going to be loyalty and trust. Bayley and Damage Control have been having all these issues lately, and it appears that the group is even gaslighting Bayley at times. So could all that tension finally implode at War Games? Same sort of thing goes even for the babyface team. It's no secret that Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair haven't seen eye to eye with each other lately in recent years. And even Becky and Bianca have a long back and forth history with each other as well. So is the babyface team fully on the same page there? So definitely some interesting situations brewing up in the women's War Games match. The Bella Twins' relationship with WWE has really been a focal discussion point by fans over the last few weeks after Nikki's presence in the USA Network show was ignored on the Raw broadcast. Well, Nikki and Brie recently spoke with People.com, and they talked about how they felt like they just weren't seeing eye to eye with WWE anymore, and how they wanted the freedom to do things without needing clearance first. They had this to say, quote, "There was a moment where her and I looked at each other and kind of felt, you know what? We're not all seeing eye to eye anymore. We didn't even have to say it. We could just look at each other and feel it. We get sad at times to not be a part of what the women are doing over there. And we will always support our women of the WWE. But it's been amazing to be in meetings or have these opportunities and be able to say yes or no for yourself and not have to go and ask, hey, we really want to do this opportunity. Can we? We're in this place of reclaiming our power and making our own decisions and not having to ask permission. It's crazy to feel that at 39, end quote. So the Bella Twins fully disconnected themselves from WWE, even rebranding themselves as the Garcia Twins. And now they're fully in control of their career opportunities. And that wasn't the only big story involving Nikki Bella this week. Nikki attended the USC versus UCLA college football game and met a lot of massive stars herself. Nikki was watching the game with Olivia Rodrigo and even posed for several pictures with her as well. So the Garcia Twins are continuing to make some massive career moves, and we'll have to see what else the future holds for them. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.